Are you sure that you're ready for what is about to happen with the new global economy? Welcome to the Freedom Culture. Here at the Freedom Culture, I like to discuss current events in the financial sector, this new digital economy, and also breaking down blockchain technology in the most understandable terms possible. Breaking news. Well, not so breaking to me, but Larry Fink is appointed the new chairman of the WIF, if you catch my drift. Larry Fink, the president of BlackRock, asset manager of trillions of dollars. This company is said to pretty much own the world. And then we have the World Economic Forum, which is pretty much a lobbying organization where leaders from all across the world attend these meetings to find out a game plan for the planet. Larry Fink is now the chairman of this organization. He was once the BlackRock chairman. He has the largest company of the world on his resume, and now he's been appointed the chairman of the World Economic Forum. Chairman's duties is to make sure the entity's long-term goals, all of their long-term goals are met and operated effectively. So I personally believe he's going to do a good job with making sure all of their standards are met. Basically, when it comes to new appointees or new candidates of any kind of entity, I feel like to get an idea of how things will be operated, you can see, dig into archives and figure out what's their motives, what do they stand for, how do they think and stuff like that. Larry Fink has been at these meetings before, and he emphasizes how we need to force behavior. We need to force behavior and make people do right, make businesses do right, and I'm saying right, this is all subjective. I'm saying right, good, bad, all of these things are subjective here for this video. But make entities, make businesses, make everything go according to order, according to their order, whatever that may be, for the sake of climate change, for the sake of, I don't know, for the sake of stuff, of what they concern. Here's one of the clips of Larry Fink at one of these World Economic Forum meetings, actually saying how, emphasizing how we need to force behavior and trying to figure out a way to force these behaviors.
You now make a point of, that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year. And what we're doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
We're doing the same thing.
And so it's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as Ken is that we have not seen more opportunities, and we're going to have to force change.
So with that being said, Larry Fink has always been an advocate of the ESG, the environmental, social, and governance, and also the SDG, which is Sustainable Development Goals. And ever since 2020, I actually paid attention to these initiatives because I feel like it will be really important to follow investments that's going towards that direction, because anything that's outside of that direction may become heavily regulated. A lot of companies has to follow ESG score, so pretty much it's kind of like a credit score, a social credit score for businesses. And if these businesses aren't following these standards, then they're not going to be approved for loans or grants and any kind of help from, I don't know, what do you call it, a government, a one world government, because this is a lobbying organization with millions. It's a private company, and it has not millions and not billions but trillions of dollars invested into this entity. Larry Fink is also a big supporter of the blockchain. He's a big time asset manager. And he also emphasized that trillions of dollars will be on the blockchain, you know? So I'm throwing this word trillion all over the place, so this is crazy. But trillions of dollars will be added on to the blockchain by 2030. A lot of sources say that trillions of dollars will be added on to the blockchain by 2030. Then we have the SEC chair. The new SEC chair has just mentioned that they're working on an initiative called Project Crypto to add pretty much the entire financial system onto the blockchain. So they're working on moving these financial vehicles onto the blockchain. And the blockchain is a distributed ledger. You know, it's just a ledger. So everything is going to be tracked, you know? So, however, with assets onto the blockchain, it's like building houses on land. So if you already have land, if you already own land and you're getting a mall being built on top of that land value is going to appreciate. So this is why I emphasize the significance of cryptocurrency. Here's a clip of the SEC chair mentioning the initiative of Project Crypto.
To achieve President Trump's vision of making America the crypto capital of the world, the SEC must holistically consider the potential benefits and risks of moving our markets from an off-chain environment to an on-chain one. We are at the threshold of a new era in the history of our markets. As I mentioned earlier, today, I'm announcing the launch of Project Crypto, a commission-wide initiative to modernize the securities rules and regulations to enable America's financial markets to move on-chain. Just a few weeks ago, President Trump signed the Genius Act into law, ensuring that America will continue to lead in global payments with a gold standard stablecoin regulatory framework. Upon signing the Genius Act into law, I was pleased that President Trump endorsed congressional efforts to pass crypto market structure legislation by the end of the year. I commend the House of Representatives.
So what can I say about this all is it's important to make sure that we're on the winning side of things. It's important to make sure that our assets are on the winning side of things, appreciating, not depreciating and out of harm's way. And with Larry Fink, who's really good at what he does, you know, I feel like he's going to be a very strong leader to these initiatives, and anything that's outside of the bubbles of SDG, ESG, and they're not friendly to those initiatives, then, you know, they're in harm's way. They could be a huge risk. So what I'm doing about that is I'm keeping my eyes on the ball. Nothing has really changed since 2020. I started this channel in 2019 when all of these things, you know, when I came across the information about this. And instead of tripping, it's about action. It's about taking action and making moves accordingly, being smart, you know, not being reactive, not being surprised, and being proactive and organized, you know? So keep up with me on the Freedom Culture. Hit the links below. Follow me on my Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon, where I give you exclusive data, really solid insights on how to respond, or how I'm responding to all of these things that you might find helpful. You might find some value into this content that I'm putting out. Keep up with me on the Freedom Culture. Peace, love, and respect. Take care of yourself. Later.